I'm a 27-year-old man, and last year I earned $38,000 before taxes running my own marketing business. The business made $80,000, but I split that with my business partner. Before that, I worked at a marketing agency making $20 per hour. Many marketing jobs have low pay, which was one of the main reasons I decided to start my own business. I also have a bachelor's degree in marketing. I have my own apartment and about $25,000 saved between my checking account, stocks, and a Roth individual retirement account. I am relatively good-looking and take care of myself physically, but I tend to be shy and introverted. I'll be honest, I'm feeling a bit insecure about dating again. My last relationship ended about 4 months ago, partly because I wasn't as financially stable as my ex wanted me to be. She was an engineer earning $80,000 and was ready to travel and enjoy life, while I was still working to grow my business. She had a timeline for when she wanted things done, and I was struggling to keep up and felt a strong lack of encouragement. I also had to move in with my parents at the time to save money and reduce stress during my first year of business. I'd like to start dating again in a few months, but it feels like many women have high expectations around money these days. Sometimes it seems like those standards are tough to meet, especially so quickly, even when you are working hard and driven. I went through a depressive period during my last relationship, mostly because of those expectations. I guess I'm a little traumatized by that, but I really want to find someone who accepts me for who I am, appreciates my drive, and wants to grow with me. This might sound a little silly, but I want to find someone who loves me for who I am right now, so I can feel confident that I chose the right person. If I do end up making a lot of money later, it might be harder to know if they're with me for the right reasons. Is it wrong to want to start dating in a couple of months? Or should I focus on building my business and finances first? I think I just need to hear some real opinions because I tend to overthink. Story 1. I wouldn't take her leaving any harder than the natural human pain of a breakup. You two are on two different timelines. She got a college degree that led her into a higher-earning career earlier. You are building a business that takes time to reach a really high earning point. You deserve someone who is either on a similar timeline or is ready to be patient with the process you are going through. There is nothing deeper than that to me, and it has little to do with the idea that you are not stable, even if she is saying what she is saying. Story 2. Everyone has different standards. Some will say you are not stable enough. Others will seek more adventure and ambition. The right woman will like what she sees. Be yourself. You do not want to be everyone's cup of tea. Cast a broad net, be real, and you will find a keeper. Story 3. She just wasn't the right person for you, man. You're living life on your terms with your own business, even if it's not a top-tier salary. You're thinking correctly about finding someone who wants to be with you for who you are, not how much you make. Story 4. Perhaps you should try dating women who are a little more bohemian. To an engineer making $80,000, a man who does not pay for expensive meals and trips to Cabo may seem unstable. To an artist, a man who has his own apartment and a regular income will seem brilliantly stable. Story 5. Don't worry about this right now. Focus on building your business and yourself. Women will come and go during this time, or you might find someone special, or you may not find anyone. All these are fine. Keep building. I promise you there are plenty of women out there who see your potential and will build with you, and who will not care about arbitrary lines. I was lucky enough to find both in one woman, but I didn't meet her until I was 29. I was far behind you on the curve when I was 27. It's your life, and there is no other purpose than to live it to the best of your ability. Story 6. I'd say, don't let women distract you from achieving your goals, and don't align your goals for any woman. Keep focusing on the business, and if you do well, it won't be a problem. Story 7. Do not base how you value yourself on what other people think. Focus on yourself and what you want. Good things will come. Story 8. It sounds like you should take a breather and focus on business and yourself right now. Keep your eyes open. You never know who will turn up, but do not go dating just to date. You have better things to do until someone more interesting shows up. Story 9. I could be working at McDonald's for the rest of my life, and my girlfriend would not care. That is why I love her so much. Find someone like that. Story 10. Hey, the other girl just wasn't your forever person. Don't stress it. The right person will come along. Story 11. I'm so sorry this woman made you feel that way. I see a lot of people commenting to find a woman who is at the same level as you financially. I disagree. I know plenty of women who are financially unstable but still want their boyfriend to make a ton of money. It is all nonsense. Find a woman who is on your level emotionally, intellectually, and shares your principles. Those are the levels that matter the most. Story 12. My personal story. I was dating my first serious girlfriend for 2 years between ages 25 and 27. She grew up in a wealthy New Jersey family. I came from a similar family on Long Island, though not as wealthy, but still upper class to most. I was making $72,000 and so was she. She kept lamenting about how we made the same amount and that she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom like her mother. You can imagine how this ended. I was devastated because I thought I was going to marry her, and she was the one who brought up marriage to me first. Fast forward 5 years. I am now making $120,000 and engaged to a woman who makes the same amount. However, she wants to earn her own money and does not mind if I do not make more than her. The moral of the story is to work on yourself. Be true to who you are. And remember, there is always someone out there who will fit your lifestyle and support you. Story 13. This was a case of incompatibility, nothing more. You were in 2 different places. It happens. You will find someone compatible when the time is right. Do not force it. In the meantime, you are still young. Put your energy into that business, keep growing it, and continue investing. A woman will come along to whom you will be able to give a beautiful life before you know it. Story 14. Well, she did not consider you suitable when you were earning $38,000 a year. She certainly will not deserve you when you start earning $380,000 or $3.8 million when your business takes off. Do not be stressed, brother. You will have plenty of choices later on. Story 15. That's actually crazy. You're actively building the future you want. You're just not there yet. Honestly, she was further along than you, just an incompatibility in timelines. The only person I have ever left for not being stable enough was working 2 part-time jobs and couldn't afford to live without roommates or even go out without someone else paying the bill. That wasn't even the problem. Times are tough and jobs do not pay enough in many cases. I can understand financial difficulty. The problem was she was not emotionally stable. You will find better. Just know what you are working toward and keep going. Story 16. You might be taking the idea of dating too seriously, treating it like a formality. During the year I was getting to know my wife, I felt like a loser because of where my life was, disregarding the important work I was doing and the potential it showed to the women around me. I was completely clueless about that and pushed several lovely ladies away, including her, because of my low confidence. It took spending time with her as friends for me to see my own potential through her eyes, as I had built up the idea that I needed to have everything together for my eventual partner. We have had our moments but would not trade this life we have built for anything. Please do not let opportunities slip by because of one woman. Story 17. In a similar vein, I had the same insecurities and fears about women having high expectations. But the more I went out and met people just to get to know them, the more I found that many people are not like that at all. This idea is often pushed by the internet and social media, but in reality, the majority of people are different from what the internet portrays. Work on yourself and own it. You are building your life, and that is separate from dating. The right person for you will accept you as you are. That is the mindset. If they have expectations you cannot meet, then they are not the right person for you because you will not be happy chasing those expectations. Keep working on yourself to meet your own expectations, never for someone else. Go out to places and find people who meet you where you are and are also growing. This means they need to share your mindset or at least be accepting and understanding of it. Story 18. You two were just not meant for each other. She values financial certainty above the freedom that you are looking for. It does not mean either is wrong. It is just that oil and water do not mix well. There are plenty of women who are more risk-taking and accept times of financial uncertainty. For example, artists, freelancers, and others. Just go out there. Story 19. That is unfortunate. People have their own ideas about what stable means. If she did not want to stay with you because she did not believe in you, then to be honest, that is a good thing. You do not want to be with someone who does not want to stick around. Do not worry about it too much. You are where you are, and as long as you have a positive trajectory, most women will not care that much. Be the best version of yourself. Keep your head up, and you will find someone who appreciates you for more than your net worth. Keep working hard. Story 20. Sounds like you and her just want different things. That is okay. Starting a business is hard. It involves a lot of work, some very lean income years, and a lot of uncertainty. If I were single, I would not date an entrepreneur either because it does not provide the kind of predictability and stability I am looking for in my life. But there are many people who do not care as much about that. You just have to keep trying and find a partner who is ready for that journey. Story 21. You are a person, not a commodity. Date as much as you want. Just ask enough questions early on to identify those who are materialistic and obsessed with status. Story 22. Bro, you have more courage than a lot of people, including myself, for opening your own successful business. For the win. Story 23. I was in your position financially and with the same stresses. I understand, it's a lot. But if they weren't ready to support you, they weren't the right ones for you. It's not like you're a loser. You have your degree, you have started a new business, and it sounds like you are financially competent. New businesses take a lot of time to get off the ground. My girlfriend didn't care when I was making $35,000 at 30 years old. She cared that I was motivated, had a plan, and treated her well. Now, she gets to reap the benefits as I am making 120% more. Find a woman like that. Story 24. The key statement you made was that you felt a strong lack of encouragement. You are clearly confident about the direction of your goals and working towards them. No matter the endeavor, and because life brings ups and downs, a life partner who truly loves and cares about you as a person will be your unwavering ally and encourage your growth and development, as you would hers. I wonder if, due to this past experience with your most recent partner, you might be able to ascertain a woman's requirement for money and stability early so you can move on and not waste time with people focusing on that instead of the human being before them. Story 25. You just have to find someone who is in the same place in life and shares your goals. She has a comfortable income as an engineer. My last ex was an administrative assistant making about $40,000. I am fully licensed in a trade making $150,000. We just were not in the same place in life. I can afford to have fun and take trips myself, but I cannot quite afford to pay someone else's entire way to come with me. Look for a girl who is in the same place, maybe even people in graduate school or other entrepreneurs. I have many friends in the 24 to 29 age range who have not started their careers because they have been in school for so long and are just about to enter the workforce. They are basically in the same place as you, and you might find someone willing to support you, and you can support them back because they are in the same place in their life. Story 26. Do like successful women do. Focus on your growth and date when you are on steady ground. You are just a beginner. You have plenty of time. Story 27. Technically, you cannot be too upset. If you want to settle down and start a family, $38,000 will not be enough. You will need more than double that amount to live comfortably as a household. I know people who have their own business but are putting in just the bare minimum to survive. They scrape by with $40,000 while playing video games and smoking cannabis all day. Yet, they are the first to call themselves entrepreneurs. You still have time to grow, but in the next 5 years, you need to focus and keep building your business. Distractions and depression will not be beneficial to your growth. This can become a vicious cycle. You date someone, they break up with you, you spiral into depression, and your business suffers. This repeats. Before you know it, you are 40 years old, your business is stagnant, and you are making $50,000 a year. Stay focused on the business, my friend. Story 28. First, absolutely you can date, and I hope you find someone who appreciates your drive and wants to grow with you. You earned $38,000 and then paid maybe 40% in taxes. That's rough. That's below the poverty line. Wanting to be above the poverty line is a normal expectation, not a high one. Is there a reasonable expectation that you will rise above the poverty line soon? It is okay to want different things at different times in your life. A few things. I have dated and married people who believe they are on an upward trajectory but do not actually have their situation together well enough to believe they will succeed. An ex had an elaborate business plan but had never managed a budget in his own life and was unable to prevent his house from being short-sold, for example. Another was very hardworking and ambitious but chaotic and randomly destroyed relationships. Hardworking and driven are only parts of it and are not enough. You moved back in with your parents. While that is morally neutral, and I am glad you have a good enough relationship with your parents to have that safety net, it is going to make dating many people harder. Good luck to you. Story 29. A 27-year-old with their own business and potential for further growth is not unstable. Good things take time. You will be fine in the long run. You have different priorities, and that is fine too. I hope you find someone who understands your dedication. Good luck. Story 30. Here's where you lost me. A lot of people are feeling financial anxiety right now. Don't generalize women. From your side of the story, it sounds like this particular woman valued financial security more than other aspects of your relationship. So it's a good thing she's your ex. Don't overthink this. Go date more. Story 31. I pretend to be broke when I go on dates to weed out certain people. I met my wife over coffee in a park and brought a thermos from home. When we arrived, she had a thermos as well. Story 32. The relationship with yourself should come first before dating anyone. You want to travel and have new experiences, so go have them. Enjoy being single and making friends on the journey. When the time is right, you will meet someone with a real connection organically, likely when you are not looking for it. Story 33. A lot of women have high expectations around money these days, and so do men. This is a universal concern for anyone getting involved with someone else. The issue is not money. It is failing to recognize early enough when someone is incompatible with you. Stop dating women who are incompatible with you. She was an engineer making $80,000 and was ready to travel and enjoy life, while I was still putting in the work to grow my business. She had a specific timeline for when she wanted things done. Right there, you guys are incompatible. You are growing a career and business, which takes time, and she has disposable income now, wants to move forward now, and wants to settle down, travel, and do all the things now without waiting. She is not right for you. She never was. It is not that you are not stable, do not have a plan, or lack money. No, your life plan was not compatible with hers. She is ready now to be financially stable, and you have chosen to grow a business on your own. Those things are not compatible. The minute you felt pressure from her about the timeline, you should have ended things. Your ex was entitled to seek a person more in line with what she wanted right now, and you are welcome to date someone who does not feel the need to be settled and secure at 27 years old. She should not have stayed to push you, and you should not have stayed to meet her expectations. It was never going to work. There are plenty of women not making $80,000 a year who are still building careers and businesses like you are. Find them through networking or apps and date them instead. Story 34. Either focus on your business or get a better paying job. I am going to be honest with you. $38,000 is not enough. It is poverty. I make $47,000 fresh out of college and living with my parents, and I am still barely getting by. You cannot blame her or call her shallow for that. Story 35. I think you need to have perspective here. You are currently making less than the people at the Taco Bell in my small town in a suburb south of Dallas. It must be hard to have a real social life on an income like that, especially in your late 20s. Being a business owner in the early stages usually means committing more hours than the average person to make less money. With time, if you are successful, that will change and you will reap financial benefits. Right now, your ex is making double what you are with a simple 9-to-5 job, and she probably wants to enjoy that by spending money on trips and other things. You are not really set up to be an equal partner there. There is no blame here. She is at a different stage in her life than you are. If you become successful, you will flip that script one day and make more sitting in a few meetings a day than she will by working a full-time job. I cannot imagine many women who would not have that perspective right now. As you said, you are 27, but most women likely want to put a down payment on a house by their early 30s if they are interested in having children. They are on a biological clock. You are not. Women tend to reach peak dating value between 25 and 32. The idea of, I want someone who loves me for me, is just an excuse to avoid responsibility for your own situation. Nobody except your parents or your dog will ever love you for you. Everyone else has conditions. Put in the work and increase your income. You will have fewer distractions if you give dating a rest for a while. The women will still be there, I promise. Story 36. It may not sound or feel like it at the moment, but uncovering areas of incompatibility early on is a good thing. As an entrepreneur, if you are constantly embracing risk in your daily life as you run your business, being with a potential partner who is extremely risk-averse would not make a lot of sense, would it? I think it is quite common for us all to personalize being rejected. I do this too. It is easy to do because it feels personal, but try not to attach a narrative to it. Do not think of it in terms of you not being stable enough, because what does this actually mean? Who gets to decide this? Think more in terms of incompatible timelines and goals. Personally, this feels a lot more neutral, acknowledging reality without building a narrative. I realize I am a woman on this thread and am happy to delete my response if needed, but I had the belief that I had to be perfect before I could be loved. Your question toward the end is not too different from the ones I used to ask myself, so just know that to the right person, a lot of this does not matter. Also know that wanting your partner to see you, love, respect, and cherish you for who you are now is completely valid and reasonable. Story 37. Find someone who will be with you on the ride up, not just when you get to the top of the mountain. Starting a business is tough and may take time. Find the person who will be there for the tough times, not only the good ones. Focus on yourself and the business, and maybe the right person will come along. Story 38. Stability is not having money to burn. Stability is having money and security when you can no longer work and need to relax in the evening of your life. Bear that in mind. Someone willing to end a relationship over disposable income shows a lot about that person. Count your lucky stars and move on. Find someone who wants to form a lasting bond that is not based on whether you can spend a summer in Ibiza or elsewhere. Also, if anyone ever seriously says they are after a high-value man, run. Story 39. Honestly, you need to look on the bright side. If she was not loyal enough to stay while you were building your business, you have not lost anything worth having. Date now and consider any new girl's stance on your income a non-negotiable line, just like you would an appearance issue or any other serious deal breaker. Be upfront about it. Date someone who makes less money and loves you for who you are, not because you can afford a certain lifestyle. Story 40. Just another perspective. It can really be difficult to be the breadwinner as a woman because when you pick up the financial slack, very few men will pick up the slack at home. Female breadwinners often end up both making the money and keeping the house, and if there are children, it can be even more challenging. I think women with successful careers have the highest divorce rate because of this. You don't see many men packing lunches to support their wives as they go off to work. But many women, even working women, do that every day for decades for their husbands. If your female partner was the breadwinner, could you see yourself prioritizing her career over your business? If your business does not make as much money as her career, what would you see your role in the household economic unit being? If you were just starting your business, you would probably expect to work more than a normal workday, so a partner who earns more money than you might even be working less than you on site. Your busy schedule might create new work for her that she didn't have before meeting you, such as new chores and more groceries. A 50-50 split is also not always fair. For example, if I buy a dozen donuts, I know my partner will eat 9 and leave me 3, because he is a man and can eat more and faster than I can. That means every time I want 3 of something, I have to buy 12, whereas in the past I might have just bought 3 for myself. He has added significantly to my food budget by eating meat every day, for example. If he did not pick up slack in other ways, he would be a net drain on my ability to support myself. It can feel unfair as a woman to be saddled with earning money, maintaining the home, and managing anything related to children and reproduction too. It can make you wonder what you need the man part of the equation for if you do it all already, especially if he creates new work or costs for you. I think if you are going to contribute less financially, it is important to step up in other ways, the ways women do when they are the lower earning partner. That means keeping the house, preparing meals and packing lunches, doing household administration, and so on. A man who demonstrates meticulous household management and a progressive attitude about gender roles in the home is just as attractive as a high earner, especially to a high-earning woman. Story 41. For me personally, I think leaving someone because they don't earn enough money is absolutely insane. You either like them or you don't. I'm getting married this year, and I was broke when I met my wife. I don't think money came up once. Over the 10 years we've been together, there have been times when I've earned way more than her and vice versa. I always say as long as we have each other, I'd rather live in a hovel with her than in a mansion with anyone else. I do understand that money is important. I just think when you finally meet that person, it won't matter. All that external stuff just becomes what you have to deal with together, not obstacles to being together. It's not that your ex is a bad person. I just think ultimately it wasn't meant to be. Maybe I'm a romantic, but I feel when you actually find your other half, all that stuff just stops being important. Story 42. Do not go looking for a mate. Instead, be willing to find one. In the meantime, work on yourself. Build your knowledge. Story 43. There are many delusional comments on this thread. It reads almost like a forum where people are coddling the original poster's feelings. You have the right to be satisfied with how much you're making, but the blunt truth is that earning $38,000 at 27 is quite low. That is not necessarily a bad thing, just an objective truth. A woman who is 27 is probably thinking about marriage, a family, kids, or at the very least, a future with you. Most of that is not feasible with $38,000. My advice is to focus on growing your business. If you try dating right now, you will encounter many women with the same perspective as your girlfriend. Not because they are bad people, but because women at that age are usually looking toward the future and settling down. Their biological clock means that the smart ones have to think of these things much earlier than men do. In summary, focus on your business, dating can wait, and women are not bad people for wanting a man to earn more than minimum wage. Story 44. Honestly, you're 27 and building a business. Focus your energy on discipline mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and build your business into a multimillion-dollar company. That is a gift you will give yourself that will forever change your life. Financial security and the ability to provide far exceed whatever someone your age can give you right now. When you're 35 and on top of the world, you'll have your pick of any woman you want, and not gold diggers. Women respect the character it takes to be a man, bring a vision to life, and provide stability. You are only young, full of energy, ambition, and mental capability once. Women, children, aging, and health problems will all affect that. If you have a path to become a millionaire, take it. Regarding this girl, it was just incompatibility and did you a favor. Follow what the universe is telling you and the signs instead of trying to force your will. Build your empire and work on yourself. Go to therapy, exercise, yoga, or whatever. A spiritually, sexually, and emotionally disciplined millionaire in their 30s will put you in the best possible position. Become the best man you can be. You will attract the energy you live by. Story 45. Good luck out there. I have had many women start discussing the money topic way too early lately. Just as much as they think they are weeding out bad partners, all they are doing is weeding themselves out. Story 46. My girlfriend makes six figures and I was unemployed and broke when we met. I had just moved back to my home country, my savings were gone, and I was living with my mother. Some women care more about character than income. Story 47. Look, my guy, live the way that makes you happy. Make yourself happy. Every woman can either like your life and add to it or not like it and leave. That includes life goals and so on. Yes, you can build your finances and get in shape to attract more women if you want short-term relationships. Those are one-time or short-term things. However, if you are looking for a long-term partner, only do what you can live with and maintain. Otherwise, you might stop one day, and she will resent you, or you could suffer health problems from the stress your actions cause. Story 48. If a woman does not want to grow with you and support you, then why would you want to be with her? Most likely, even if you had money, these women would leave you if you lost it. I say, good riddance. Story 49. So I'm a woman, but I think you're starting to overgeneralize an entire gender of people here. I'm actually similar to your ex, at least in terms of age and salary range. I'm in a stressful job, but it pays well and allows me to contribute a lot of money into my retirement accounts, which is my main priority. My husband, fiancé still, but husband for clarity, makes a bit more than me, but also focuses heavily on retirement accounts. A lot of family and childhood reasons influenced the choices we made, including feeling financially unstable as a very young child. So having substantial savings is important to both of us for different reasons. We're both pretty risk-averse people, but neither of us is gold-digging or expecting to live off the other's money. We both want to make our own money, and we both want our partner to do the same. But my best friend in the entire world is the opposite. Also 28, around your current salary, very willing to take risks in life, financially and otherwise. Her partner is also low income and equally willing to take massive risks I would never consider. They're one of the happiest and healthiest couples I know. One last example. One of my cousins was incredibly driven in nursing but never cared about the money. She ended up becoming a stay-at-home mom while her husband made around $50,000. She was happy and comfortable with their choices until he cheated and kicked her and the kids out. She now has a degree that hasn't been used in years, out-of-date certificates, no childcare for 2 kids under 3 years old, no housing, and is currently in a world of chaos. She trusted her husband financially, and it backfired in the worst way. So really, my point is different people exist all across the spectrum. Some women are risk-averse, some are not. Some women are driven by both their career and their income, some by one or the other, some by something else. But at the end of the day, you need to be able to support yourself at a level you're comfortable with, and you need to trust your partner to do the same while having backup plans. I don't think it's fair to say your ex traumatized you for having different expectations. You just had different expectations, and that's fine. Honestly, it would make me really anxious to know my partner had $25,000 in retirement accounts, but that's just me. The next woman you meet is guaranteed to be different, and so will the one after that and the one after that. Women are not a monolith, and there's definitely someone out there who will be over the moon at a man starting his own marketing company. She's just likely not a female engineer. We're unique in our own ways. Story 50. Some women will care about how much money you are making. Some will not care as much. I would bet that being at the beginning of a business venture and living with your parents will drastically reduce your dating pool. I suggest dedicating yourself to growing your business until you and your partner are making better money before seeking a serious relationship. Relationships take time, effort, and energy. If you distract yourself with a relationship, your business will suffer. Story 51. She will regret that later on. She is not worthy of you, my friend. You are stable, work out, have a home and savings. You, my friend, are one absolute catch. Keep your head up high. Story 52. Focus on the business and yourself. When she returns in 2 years and you are successful, have a good laugh. Story 53. The right partner will not care where you are or make you feel like you are not keeping up. They will acknowledge where you want to be and support you in getting there, and you will want to do the same for them. Story 54. Many women say they are attracted to ambition when they really mean they are attracted to money. You just saw an example. These are the types who do not care how much effort went into the race. They just want to wait at the finish line and go home with the winner. This is a blessing in disguise for you. There are also many women who genuinely appreciate ambition and will find it attractive that you took a chance on yourself. Do not hide the fact that your business is still a work in progress. The real ones will understand, and the fakes will remove themselves. When things take off, you will know that the one you are with is willing to support you through any challenges that may arise later. Story 55. This may be an unpopular opinion, but I do not want to demonize the ex here. Maybe she was materialistic, maybe not. It is tough dating someone who is not in your salary range. It does not necessarily mean it is all that matters. However, if one person has disposable income and wants to travel, it can be a source of contention if the other person cannot do those things. Maybe you two were not compatible and you need someone who shares your values. Story 56. Date girls who do not care much about your money other than you having a job at least. They are out there. If another starts this, you are not stable enough or you should earn more in a certain time frame, you should dump them. Story 57. Your finances seem stable, especially if you are saving money on top of what your business is earning. That person broke up with you because they want someone who is rich. Their loss because you have more ambition than many people your age. Time and changing your mindset are the only things that will really help you stop feeling like you are not financially stable enough to be with another person. If you can get into therapy, I think it would really help with changing your mindset as well. Find someone who does dialectical behavior therapy and somatic experiencing. Dialectical behavior therapy works to change your mindset and behaviors, and somatic experiencing helps move emotions through your body instead of storing that energy. Story 58. Never date while you are starting your company. People who make more than you at 9-to-5 jobs will feel like they are ahead. Girls who do believe in you will feel like they are grandfathered in once you make money. Make the money, then date in the proper bracket. Story 59. I, 38-year-old female, met my husband at 24. We were both having health issues and met in a hospital, both living in poverty. I never thought about going out to find a guy who provides for me. I'm not living in the 1950s anymore, and although I am too sick to ever work full days, I still want to take care of myself as best as possible under those circumstances. My husband got much better and is now making good money. If he keeps it up, he'll be among the top 20% of incomes in our country in 5 years. Still, I don't think he has to provide for me. I pay my fair share of our bills, pay for dates, less often of course, but I try as best as I can, and so on. Maybe I'm too old or too romantic, but I found my person. Even if we could still live in poverty, I'd love him. He is my safe space and I am his. We're best friends, partners, equals, and ridiculously in love with each other. We know we can get through every hardship because our marriage has already proven that from the start. So yes, you can date. Women and men like my husband and me are out there. Of course, money is important. No one knows that better than someone who has been poor, but it's not everything. It certainly doesn't make you happy. Friends and your person do. Story 60. You have many people telling you what you want to hear, saying she is bad for leaving you. She makes good money herself and wanted a partner in the same position so they could enjoy life together before, I assume, having children. Are you dating to marry? Can you support the household if so? What if you meet a nice woman who is very low maintenance and can handle limited earnings, but you don't like some of her flaws or think she lacks certain qualities you prefer in women? Do not listen to those calling your ex a gold digger. Story 61. This might sound silly, but her leaving you is just her winning round one of this breakup. You still have 6 more rounds to go. Takes time, but stay patient. It will all be worth it in the end. Story 62. Women do not want to build with a man anymore. They want to move in. The only thing you can do is scale up your business and make more money. Story 63. Brother, you are an entrepreneur with revenue. Do you know how hard that is? It is much harder than being an engineer. That girl was not on your level. You saw that you were being exploited in corporate and she did not. $80,000 is not significant either. She can talk about stability at $120,000 with a house. Trust yourself. If you need more confidence, lift weights in the gym 3 or more times a week. Good luck. Story 64. Be confident and believe in yourself. If you just do what you normally do in your regular routine and do not even pay attention to the dating scene, that is when you will get noticed by someone who thinks you are great just as you are. Story 65. It wasn't you, bro. She wanted a conscience-free escape, and that "you are not stable enough" comment was her way of absolving herself of guilt and accountability for walking away from you, probably into the arms of another man who seemed more stable. Oftentimes, women say they like men who make money, but what they really mean is they like men who are generous with their money. Story 66. She had 80,000, but did she have her own property and savings, or was she blowing through the money, etc.? To be fair, I don't think she left because of stability. She left because she felt like it and gave reasons for the sake of closure. You shouldn't be too hung up on it. Go meet people and enjoy interactions with no agenda. That is the best way to meet somebody. By not expecting, I mean go without the expectation of a relationship or anything. Just interact in the right places and work on yourself as you do now. I wouldn't try to understand what your ex meant or really meant or just said as an excuse. It's a waste of time. You clearly didn't have a connection if that's all she had to say. Story 67. As a fellow startup owner and woman, wait until you're starting to automate more and make a little above the poverty line. $60,000 for a single adult. Decent women want to see you as self-sufficient, not necessarily independently wealthy. There are old, ingrained prejudices about men staying with their parents, not the other way around. There are newer prejudices around building with men and being replaced by a younger, more attractive woman once he peaks. Some of us are still willing to do it if devotion and life goals align. My advice, which you didn't ask for, wait a year, really invest in yourself and your business. Automate whatever makes sense so you have some time freedom and the potential to scale. Then start going to those business mixers and meeting people there because you know they'll be in the same headspace. Story 68. I'm not policing anyone's language. I'm unpacking it. Your use of the phrase virtue signaling warrants unpacking because it assumes that the message is a performance. It's not. I'm sorry you're having trouble with context, but the original poster said, a lot of women have high expectations around money these days. I'm not the one who assumed his generalization was about women because those are the words he used. It's disingenuous for you to base your complaint against me on the idea that I assume he's making a generalization when he clearly made a generalization about women. Generalizations like this about women are a part of public discourse right now, and those generalizations tend to carry a negative connotation, so I'm pushing back against that. If you would like to respond to my actual argument without personal attacks, then you know where to find me. Otherwise, kindly go about your business. Story 69. Relationships fail because they should. She brought more problems to the relationship than solutions. Just because you found the wrong relationship does not mean you are the wrong person. If you want to date somebody who loves you for who you are, try dating men. Story 70. I have been purposely vague about career and money when it comes to dating for this reason. I think I finally found someone who likes me for the right reasons when I least expected it. Do not dwell on it too much. Story 71. $38,000 before taxes puts you below the poverty line. She is right, you are not financially stable. I would wait until you are to start dating. That is not a high expectation. Story 72. Travel and enjoy life. Wishes may indicate a consumerist bent. While this may be common nowadays, not all women are like this. Story 73. I would say start with the most obvious. Is this statement about stability objectively true? Even if it is not perfect or bulletproof stability, is it stable enough in your opinion? This includes your projection of likely increasing income in the near future. Are you willing to make extra efforts to cater to possible future partners needs to be with an even more financially stable man than you are now? If the answer to the first and third questions is no, while the answer to the second question is yes, what you have discovered is an incompatibility with this woman. She has a different perception from yours, which is fine. It simply means that you do not see eye to eye on that matter, and you are better off finding someone different to mingle with. Story 74. Become the man that your ideal woman would marry. If your ideal woman wants vacations and nice things, become the man who can provide that. Wait to date again until you can attract that kind of woman. On the other hand, if you want a woman who will blindly trust you while you may or may not have a failing business, go get her, bud. Story 75. Yeah, you lucked out. She wants flashy. You are financially stable and doing it the boring way, which is the most successful way. Keep doing what you are doing. It is okay to be single. Story 76. You seem like a great catch. The problem was that your ex was not looking for a partner but a father figure. Many women want stability, just as many men want an independent woman who does not need frequent financial support. I had a great dating experience last year, and most of the women made more than I did. They did not care. Usually, Men who complain about materialistic and superficial things are just coping. They have issues they will not accept. Story 77. A woman who loves you for who you are, regardless of your current economic position, will not put constant pressure on you to measure up to her standards. Someone who acts like you are beneath them will never change, no matter how much you earn. Even if you double or triple your income, there will always be another man earning significantly more. If she wants to live the lifestyle, she will go for someone with significant material wealth, such as a trust fund heir or a high earner in finance. This person is unlikely to support you in your goals and dreams or offer any support if you falter. She is probably not a good person to be with long-term or to have children with. She will always be looking for a better deal. Not every woman is like this. I found a woman who loved me unconditionally, and through her support, I turned my life around to become the man she wanted. This is similar to women who date Leonardo DiCaprio, only to be discarded when they turn 25. They will enjoy the ride until they are let go, then look back with regret about the true loving and caring people they could have had a real partnership with. Some people just want to live in the fast lane. There is a chance that your business takes off someday and your earnings far surpass hers. But would you really want to share that life with someone who looked down on you during your rise? Story 78. You would not want to build a life with her anyway. If that girl was all about spending money, the moment something went wrong with your life or business, such as a big customer leaving, or you breaking a leg or being in a car accident, she would leave you immediately. She is just one of those people. Story 79. Date a younger, lower-income woman who is ambitious and building her future. She will not judge you, and you can struggle together and grow stronger on the same journey. Plus, she will be younger and attractive. Story 80. My experience with money and dating is that requirements fall into two general categories. 1. Secure housing, managed low or no debt, somewhat steady income, and similar factors. To be blunt, these are reasonable demands to ensure you will not be a drain on the other person. 2. Fun money and wealth. This can affect compatibility, but largely any relationship based on this is likely to be unstable. This is where problematic aspects come in. Wanting to be in the same place in life is fine. Basing your choice of partner on their income beyond a certain point leads to unhappiness. If they cannot be happy with you when the money disappears, they will leave as well. You mention a timeline which I do not fully understand. For example, when it comes to having children, time is unfortunately linear and important. However, I believe you avoided a problem. If someone cannot be happy with you unless you take sufficiently nice holidays, they will almost certainly be unhappy if the money stops. Story 81. A woman earning more money than her partner is a strong statistical indicator that she may leave him. For better or worse, women have been selected through evolution to choose a mate with more resources than themselves. If your wife or girlfriend makes more than you, remember she is biologically programmed to look for an upgrade. Story 82. Every trauma shapes you into a better person, in my opinion. If you feel ready to meet a new woman, then do it. But no one is going to give you the validation that you are enough now or make enough money or anything else. You need to be happy and at peace with yourself. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.